Another YouTube video, and today we have an unpopular opinion video. You guys should not drag me, just hear me out, listen to what I have to say and make a decision. Let's have a conversation in the comment section after. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Giftogu. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber who recently moved from England, United Kingdom to Alberta, Canada. And if this is your first time watching any of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I make videos about lifestyle, travel, freelancing, getting a remote job, getting your career right on track, and every other thing that is interesting. So if you want to level up in your life and your career, especially in 2025, you are definitely in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about an unpopular opinion, which is why Africans abroad should stop sending money. I don't know where the term black tax started from. Black tax is so common and so rampant in this day and age, where people abroad or even people back home, when you're working, you have to send money back home, which I think is not a bad thing. However, it can also be very challenging and very unfair. This series is called Just Us Girls, and I've been having conversations with my friends about this particular topic, especially when it has to do with black tax. Look, I am not against paying black tax at all. I have no problem with paying black tax, but I have a problem with what it's doing to young people. Now let's get started on why parents, especially Nigerian and African parents, will have a lot of children that they cannot take care of. And when you talk to them about it, they'll say things like, Chineyenwa means it's God that gives children. It's God that... But Chineke nyekwara anyị izu. Do you understand? Chineke nyere anyị izu to know left from right and to know what is good and what is bad. We can excuse our parents' generation. Excuse. It's not like what they did is good. Maybe they didn't know better. But why are you in this 21st century? Why are you a millennial? And then you're still having up to 9 children, 7 children. What is that really about? And when somebody talks to you about it, you say something like, Chineyenwa is good, it's God that gives children. Chine lekota umaka. I was scrolling on TikTok the other day and I came across this girl's page. She was talking about her experience with in a keke napep. If you don't know what keke napep means, it's a tricycle. So I'll put it here so that you can see what it looks like. So she was talking about her experience in a keke napep, where she entered this keke napep, and this woman had 3 children. So this lady was in a tricycle, and then this woman with her 3 children entered the keke. So the lady was sitting at the back, and then the woman entered the keke, and the other person that was in the same keke had 1 child. So she was lapping the 1 child. Lapping means like, you would carry a child on your laps. So the woman with the 3 children told one of her child to go to the lady that didn't have any child and was just going to her destination. Just said, go and meet that auntie to lap you. There was no conversation whatsoever. No, can you help me, carry my child or something? Just, something. So it was just this entitlement, like, you go and lap, go to this auntie to lap you. When the lady said that she was not going to do it and she wants to come down from the keke because it was going to be uncomfortable for her, and the journey was still like, we still had like a long way to go in the journey. This woman came down from the keke and all of that, and then started insulting this lady that refused to lap somebody. Like, when this is how they blackmail people, like especially in Nigeria. And I'm like, first of all, you didn't even ask the lady if it's okay for her to lap your child or carry your child. There was no conversation whatsoever about that. It was just straight up, your children will do this to you, your children will do that to your like what I mean, I'm all for helping people. Like, I am very passionate about helping people. If you know my story, you will know that I like to make an impact. However, I also believe in common sense. that you're carrying 3 children. If you want someone to help you, you ask the person. You don't just send your child to like, oh, go and meet that auntie to laugh. I've had my own fair share of experiences, especially when I was in Lagos, like, going back home from work as I was not driving, and then I have to enter a public transport, and then you have some parents saying, oh, carry my child. But the difference is that some of them will ask you, auntie, please, can you help carry my child? Like, if, the problem I have with black tax is the entitlement most times, from these parents, from all these family members. I know a lot of young people who are unable to save because they are paying black tax. Most of them are earning so much money, a whole lot of money, and they cannot say they don't have any savings. So if anything happens to their job, they are going back to the trenches. Recently, I don't know if you guys read Zikoko. On Zikoko magazine, they talked about the story that was shared on Zikoko magazine recently. Talked about a guy that his father had 2 wives, 9 children, and he does not go back home again because of black tax. So apparently his father married his first wife. She was not able to have any child, and then he married another wife. So when they got married to the second wife, that's his mother, his father's first wife started having children. So there are loads of children in the house. 9 children, not 1, not 2, not 3 children, 9 children. But what is even funny is the fact that after having 9 children, the man was not able to care for them. He was not able to provide for them. He was not able to support them in their education. Then these children had to fend for themselves, lived a hard life. Imagine you as a child trying to fend for yourself in secondary school, fend for yourself like when your parents are supposed to be fending for you. And he was able to, against all odds, even he went into uni. When he went in university, he started a business. I think he was selling sneakers. So he was able to put food on his table and just, relieve the pressure from him, because there was no help coming from back home. He graduated, got a job and all of that, and then there's black tax left and right, and he was not able to make any savings. And when he decided to choose himself, his father is now writing messages saying that, oh, this thing that you're doing to me, your children will do. You cannot help your own father. Your children will do it to you. What kind of blackmail is that? What kind of blackmail is that? You didn't even help your child when your child was much needed your help. You were not even there. You were not present. You were not there. And now that the child is choosing the person's self, earning 400k, which is not even a lot of money, but in Nigerian standards, it's quite, things are really hard now, but 400k is not a bad salary. And then this young man has decided that he's not having any money anymore. He wants to choose himself, and you're not trying to blackmail him, saying, oh, I've seen situations where people have like loads of children that they cannot take care of, and then one child will now be the breadwinner. In fact, why most of them even have children is that they'll be like, you don't know who will blow, so let me give birth to 10 children. Hopefully one of them will blow and take us out of poverty. And then when they see people that do not want to have children, or do not want to have a lot of children, you meet a couple that wants to have 1 child or 2 children, you start saying, why? God forbid you will have 2 children. God forbid you have only 2 children. You have 4 children. But if 2 children are what they can take care of, why is that a problem? If 2 children are all they can take care of, why is that a problem? That's what we should be asking ourselves. Why is that really a problem? Why is that a problem? I don't understand. Why do we have a problem with? It's a very dangerous thing to have so many. I'm talking to our younger generations, like my generation these days, not even like my parents' generation or my grandparents' generations. They made their own mistakes. So, they made their own mistakes. Like, what they can do now is do better as parents, as grandparents, instead of being really entitled. But it's my generation that I'm talking to right now. There's no reason to be having 5 children, 6 children. What's that about? Why? Except you can actually look after them, like you have the wherewithal to take care of these children and give them attention, provide for them, just make sure that they have a good life. It might not be a fancy life, but you can take care of them. But having so many children you can't take care of them, you will now find one uncle or auntie that you will call stingy in the future, when what you're supposed to do is protecting your children, providing for them, and you're not able to. You see parents sending their children to go and be house helps, house boys, house girls, to people that will not treat them well. You see parents that their children will send themselves to school, and then you're still billing your child in school, in university, when you did not even pay for that child to even go to university or support the child to go to university. And then the child is in university, basically squatting from one place to another, doing so many businesses to be able to afford life. And you're still billing. And there's another thing that African parents do that surprised me is, you know that your child, you don't know where the child is bringing the money from. You know that what the person is doing is quite shady, but you don't care. You want to collect the money from your child. Like, why is your child actually even giving you money? When the child is in uni, why are you collecting money from your child in uni, especially in a Nigerian university? One thing I like about my mother is that if she starts any business or any job, she wants to know exactly what it is. When I started working online in 2019 as a freelancer, I was earning money in dollars. My mother wanted an explanation for what exactly it was that I was doing. Where's this money coming from? Like, what do you mean you're earning money in dollars? What do you mean you're working online? I had to explain it to her like she was 5, just so she would understand what I mean when I say I work online. So she would be calm, you know. She would know where the money is coming from. But there's some African parents, you know that your child is doing internet fraud or just doing something shady. You will still collect. They will give you money. You will still collect. You will still collect because you don't even care. For you, it's not about what your child is doing, it's that they are bringing you money. Some of them are so freaking entitled to your children's labor. The things you're supposed to do, give your children secondary school education, you will not even be present there. But you still keep on giving birth to more children, more and more children, then expecting that they will now look after, they will help you train the other children. That make it make sense. So many first born in Nigeria are so overwhelmed and stressed because they left the bulk of parents into them. Parents who have a lot of children they cannot look after, and then they'll make the firstborn children to be the mothers and fathers, looking after their siblings, putting a burden on their head. You see families where they don't even want their sons to get married because they know that their son gets married, the money that he's supposed to be sending home will now be reduced because he will now be more focused on his family. So whenever the son brings a wife home, he's like, oh, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, not good. We don't want that. Or then they'll start being very mean to their sons and partners because they feel that, oh, this woman now wants to now make my son not to be giving me money again. I feel that we have to talk about black tax and talk about it in depth because I am not against sending money home. I do send money home. I always say that I come from a place of privilege where my mom she's quite exposed and educated, but it's not just the exposure and the education. She's not entitled to money from me. If I send her money, which I try to do when I have, she's very grateful about it. But then she doesn't stress me out like, oh, send me money every month, put me on the salary. If you don't send me money, I cannot feed. Another good thing my mom does is, when she knows that I have financial crisis, like maybe I don't have a job, I'm out of a job, I lost my job, something like that, I'm not able to I don't even have money to feed. My mom will hold your hands and be there. She will look for ways to support you, even if she has to go and borrow money to support you. But then some African parents are not like that. Whether you have a job or not, none of their business. They will continue billing you non-stop. Another thing my mom will also likes to know is if I have any savings. Like, do you have any savings? I hope you're not spending the money recklessly. I hope you have some savings. Some African parents, none of their business. Whether you are struggling or not, you will still bring that money. And it's not just bringing the money. Maybe they're not working or something. You have to contribute in their lives. You have to, support them with money monthly, which is understandable. It's still the fact that they know that you're going through a financial crisis. And at the same time, they're still billing you for things that don't make any sense. Oh, I want to buy clothes for December. Oh, I have this meeting to go to. I need to buy a new clothes. But you know that your child is not working at this time. You know your child can barely afford this money at this time. And then you're still billing here and there. You have this meeting to go to, that meeting to go to, this. I don't get it at all. I don't really get it. That's why some children are so freaking receptive. Because what do you mean that you know that your child is not earning so well? And then you're asking for more. If it's health challenges, understandable. But I would say you or put your parents on NHIS, put them on health insurance. When I was in Nigeria, I was on health insurance. My mom is on health insurance, like national health insurance. So put your parents on health insurance in Nigeria. It's going to save you a lot of money, especially if you're like the breadwinner of your family. My mom, the health insurance is from her place of work anyway. And all of us were on it until like we started turning 18 and getting out of the health insurance because they're kicking us out of the health insurance. But then if your parents are getting older, and that they are going to be frequenting the hospital, and maybe they don't have jobs, or their jobs do not provide them with health insurance. Put them on health insurance if you have the money. It will save you a lot of money. It will save you wasting so much money on paying for their health. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about, that you don't have a job, but then they're still telling you, oh, I need this one, I need this new clothes, I need to buy a phone? Like, what is that? People that are supposed to support you, they are not. And you find out that in some families, when you stop giving them money, they they just move on. They don't even want to know how you're doing, how your mental health is. When you're not able to provide them that billing that they're looking for desperately at that time, that's about that. When you're not able to provide them the billing that, to provide them with what they want, that's about that. And it does not make any sense to me, really. It doesn't make any sense to me. I understand, like, if your parents are not working, they don't have pension or gratuity, you're the one giving them money every month, understandable. But aside from that money every month, like, other expenses that don't make any sense, oh, I have this meeting, I have this contribution in church, you have the contribution in church, not your child. I have this contribution in church. Your child is struggling financially, barely able to save, barely able to pay their bills, barely able to do anything, and then you're telling them you have contribution in church. I don't understand. You now go and pledge, then you're calling your child to come and fulfill the pledge that you've made in church. How does it make any sense? Like, look, we need to be telling ourselves the truth regarding this black tax. I really do not get it. I don't understand it at all. We'll be like, oh, it's from a place of privilege for you because they don't ask you for money at home because your parents are not dependent on you for survival. That's not the reason that I make these videos, because I don't say that I don't also send money home when I have. But what I'm saying is that my own parents are sensible. So when they know that I'm struggling, they don't even ask me for money, whether I'm struggling or not. They barely ask me for any money. I just send them money because I want to, not because I have to. They're not dependent on my money for survival. If I don't send money home, they will be fine. They will pay. School fees will be paid. Everything will be paid for. They will eat. They will be comfortable without my money. They're not dependent on my money for survival. But it's not just that. It's also the fact that they're also very empathetic towards whatever it is that I'm going through. I've lost my job. Instead of like say, oh, I pledged for money in church that you need to pay for. They're like, oh, what can we do? Do you have money to pay your rent? Do you need, like, what do you need me to do? How can I support? They want to know what they can actually do to help you. I don't have any problem against black tax. I just have a problem with the entitlements, like the lack of empathy, and what a lot of Nigerian children are going through. This is not even a firstborn issue anymore, because some firstborns do not even pay any black tax, like middle child, lastborn, that are burdened with all of these responsibilities. Food for your parents, you. School fees for your siblings, you are the one doing everything. You're the one sending money to even your siblings that are married. They're the one sending money to their family. You're the one doing this. You're the one buying them food. You're the one paying the school fees, everything. At the end of the day, you have nothing for yourself. You have nothing left. You have no money. You have no savings. And when everything comes crashing down, there's nobody to help. You can call anybody. I can pick up my phone to call somebody from my family to say, oh, like, I need help and all of that. Can you do that? Can you actually call anybody when things are hard for you to help you? Is there any family member that you can pick up your phone to call to help you when things are so bad? Look, Nigerians in Nigeria, Nigerians abroad, we need to really talk to ourselves. We need to do better. Our parents, grandparents watching us, you need to do better. People should stop having children so that they will take care of them in old age. I don't like when I give somebody money and they're like, oh, your children will do it for you. No, I'm not having children so that they will take care of me when I'm old. I'm not having children so that they'll take care of me when I'm old. My mom is not waiting for me to take care of her when she's old. Do you understand? So I'm not going to have children so that when I'm old, they'll now be taking care of me, my old age. They will now be sending me money. They'll now be helping me. No, that's not the reason to have children. Have children because you want to have children, not that, oh, they'll take care of you when they're old. Because why? Like, I don't have any problem with taking care of your parents when they're old anyway, but having children so that when you are old, they'll take care of you, it does not make any sense. Or when they are old, they will look after their other siblings, they will help you. One person will now blow and carry the whole burden of the family on the person's head and basically have nothing for the person's self, like when the person is much older. You need to watch the series Smart Money Woman. You need to watch Just Us Girls to see how bad this black tax of a thing is. Send money home to your parents. I support it. I support you sending money home to your parents. Honestly, I am in support of it. However, Use your sense when you're sending money. If you're a parent, please, like, the amount of billing that you actually give your children, especially those abroad, even or those working in Nigeria. It doesn't even have to be you doing a good job in Nigeria, just you working. Once they know you're working, you'll not be the one taking care of it. And if you don't give the money when they need it, you're now the evil person. You're now the worst person on earth. Yet everybody should run away from you. They should all avoid you because your children will do you back. This thing you're doing to your parents. I don't have any problem with sending money home. I do have a problem, however, with parents that are inconsiderate, billing their children back to back. Even after giving them the monthly money, they will use you to go out and do contribution in church and expect you to pay for it. Use you to go and do pledges. Tell people that you will give them money, then they'll wait for you to pay it. They want you to do even fancy things like you want to buy a new clothes, you call your child. After they've given you money for the month, you don't even want to know how your child is coping, how your child is doing, how your child is even surviving, especially when things are tough. It's just about, my child is abroad or my child is in Lagos doing a job, whether the child is collecting 50k, 100k, nothing concern you. All is that they'll send you money every month, they'll do this, they'll help their siblings, they'll help their nephews, their nieces, everybody. And at the end of the day, they'll be so drained, they don't have anything left. I support helping your family. I support sending money home. I support it all. I really support it. I dig that. What I do not support, however, is making your child that just got a job, like billing up and down, billing that does not have head or tail, not even wanting to know how your child is coping or surviving. It's just like, oh, I gave this offering in church, I said I pledged 200,000 naira, can you send it to me? I need to buy a new dress for this meeting, can you send it to me? I need it to buy can you send it to me? Like, what do you actually mean that your child is putting you on a monthly salary, then you're still asking for more money for frivolity? It's like, I don't understand. What do you mean that you're having children so that they can take care of each other? What do you mean that you're not able to, support your child in secondary school? Like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by, it's a responsibility to care for your children? Who told you that? Or it's a responsibility to care for your parents? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by the excessive billing, especially of young people, knowing that your child is barely functioning in life and then you don't even care? You're like, we have this meeting, that meeting, you need to do this, send money to this person. So like, you don't even care. Whether your child has lost the person's job or is barely functioning, then you keep on billing and taking and taking and taking. A lot of people abroad, especially Nigerians, Africans abroad, they're actually going through a lot because of all the billing. Not long ago, we saw, I think a few days ago, a guy sent his brother 30k for his wedding, and like the whole Twitter is going haywire. Like, why would he send that? Do you even know if the person even is working? Have you been an international student abroad? Because I've been. I know how hard it is, especially when you're sponsoring yourself. I know how hard it is to meet deadlines for school, pay your school fees. You're limited to 20 hours. You still need to pay your rent. You still need to study in school. Because if you don't study, how will you get the visa that will enable you to stay in the country? You're here to study, but you're also here. You need to pay your school fees. You also need to pay rent. You also need to feed. You also need to do a whole lot of things. And then you're combining all of this. And at the same time, you don't even know if the person has a job. Do you know the job market in 2024 is one of the worst in the world? So the person that you're billing and you're making a trend on Twitter that gave you £15, you're already calculating it. Do you know if the person even has a job? You don't even know. Do you know if the person is in a lot of debt? Do you know how much the person borrowed before even coming to that UK that you're complaining about the person sending £15? I know a lot of people. I have a very close friend that looked for a job for almost a year in that same UK, a manual job, and was not able to get any. And was surviving on vibes and sunshine, and also had school fees to pay, had a lot of pressure that the person was under. And then when this person gives you 15k for something, you'll now be complaining, it's too small, or 15 pounds. You're now calculating it's too small or something, or you do the math now. You and Lenfi, you are in a romantic relationship. You're not like, on Lenfi, this is how much it is. Why didn't you send me more than that? Do you know if the person even has a job? Do you know if the person is in debt from Nigeria? The person borrowed a lot of money to bring the person to the UK. Do you even know? Like, do you even know A lot of people abroad are actually struggling. Rent is every month, electricity bill every month, internet every month. Some accommodations they pay water. In the UK they pay council tax every month, and then you still have to complete your school fees. You still have to study in school. You still have to go to job. That's even if you even have one. And I still have to deal with family members that you maybe send 50k or 100k back home, and they're like, oh, are you not in the UK? If you send me $100, it's not like 200k. Why did you send me 50k? 50k is not just $30. Please. More grace, more leniency, especially for people that are paying black tax, especially for people that we are billing up and down. More grace, more leniency, more empathy for them. Because sometimes it's that if you even stop giving some of these people money, they will stop even chatting you up, and they'll start saying things like, oh, that uncle is wicked, that aunt is wicked, that my daughter is wicked, your children will do. Who told you that people are having children now to be looking after them when they grow older? I have a lot of things to say about this topic, but I'm just going to stop here. And I just hope that we approach black tax with more grace, more empathy, more thoughtfulness. Understand that the people that we are billing, people that are sending us money, it's not like they have to do it, they want to do it. And when people have decided to want to do this, we should be grateful. Basically, we should be grateful, because you don't even know what people are going through. They may put fancy pictures online and you think that everything is going on well with them, but you don't even know what they're actually going through, what they're passing through. Be kind and be more grateful. Nigerians, please be more grateful. When people send you something, just appreciate it the more, like, appreciate it some more. And parents, please, the whole billing, but I don't understand, like, which one is that you're I'm supposed to you have a children, and they're like, oh, why are you having like 5 children, 6 children, 7 children? You're like, oh, it's God that gives. Then all of a sudden you're looking for who will lap your child in keke, and when they don't agree to lap your child in keke, they are now the evil ones. I don't understand it. More grace, more empathy. You don't know what people are actually going through. The fact that they're abroad or they're in Lagos working or in Abuja working does not mean that life is going well with them. Check up on your children. I don't make your children the breadwinners. Like, I don't know, like, just have to go. Okay, first time standing. I have to go. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think about black tax in the comment section? Let me know what you think. Lighting today is not really good, but in 2025 I'm going to really take my content creation to another level. I'm going to buy the things that I actually need. Thank you for watching. Bye.